Oh, all right. Next question is from Joy. Good morning, Joy. Dr. Ben, as a follow up to this question, would her antibodies, if she had some, be to all the COVID-19 strains or just to the one she had? In other words, would she have immunity to all COVID-19 strains? Along about April, I was reading that there were several, possibly many strains of COVID-19. Yeah, yeah. So there are many strains of SARS coronavirus 2 in one sense, in the sense that they are slightly genetically different. In another sense, there's really only one strain as far as your immune system is concerned right now. There are little tiny changes sprinkled here and there throughout, but at most you're going to run into about 15 random changes out of about 30,000 nucleotides. And so that's not enough that it would normally constitute a new strain or a particularly difficult or new challenge for the immune system. That's basically the same virus. That's just how viruses operate. There's never just one, it's always one and a cloud of little mutants around it that are slightly different than the one, but are all just just a short genetic distance from being exactly the same. Yeah. So that's the good news. If you have antibodies right now, they will work. We actually have seen several papers and even companies that are selling antibodies that bind to both SARS-1 and SARS-2. There are parts of it that are similar enough that you can actually get the same antibody to bind. So that's kind of nice. Unfortunately, they are mostly not binding to the part that does you the most good. So the antibodies that you really want are these things called neutralizing antibodies, which just think of that as meaning direct hit antibody that shuts the virus down. I don't recall seeing any neutralizing antibodies yet that neutralize SARS-1 and SARS-2. Although, boy, I bet if we really looked out there, we might find one or two of them in the literature. There are just so many antibodies being published at the moment. But most of them seem that actually stop the virus from getting into a cell, prevent that from happening, seem to be specific to SARS coronavirus 2, the one that causes COVID-19. So you got if you've got antibodies, you got antibodies against all SARS coronavirus 2, and maybe some that would protect you if SARS coronavirus 1 started to come back. Or, and I think this is worth thinking about, there are all those other versions of this virus out there in bats and other animals all across Asia and Africa. And so you may have antibodies against SARS coronavirus 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7. There's, yeah, far more of them out there than we will probably hopefully ever see infecting humans. But yeah, they're all similar enough that there would be at least some benefit to having antibodies against one and in protecting you against another. So there we go. This has been Ask Dr. Ben. Thank you very much.